The fourth advantage of having trust in Hashem, Bitachon, means trust in Hashem. The fourth advantage, he says, we were talking about the alchemist, right? The guy who makes the gold, the silver into gold. Kibal kimiyayin on imlad hazmin me'zahav ve'akesef harbe le'etz orko. שלא יזמין מהם כלום, או שלא יזמין מהם כלום, או כפי שיספיק לזמן מועט. To ensure that he'll always have what he needs, the alchemist cannot avoid doing one of two things. He either needs to stockpile a lot of silver in order to make it into gold, or he can not prepare anything extra, and he can just prepare by each job, right? There's two ways to do things. Let's say I could order in bulk, and that way I'll have in the closet. If I need, I'll take. Or I'll just, each time I'll sit and work, I'll get more materials. I'll go and buy every single time just what I need for that day. So what happens? And if he buys in bulk and keeps it in the closet safe, he's always going to be worried. God forbid, hopefully nobody steals it from me. God forbid nothing happens to it. It shouldn't get ruined. Hopefully, nobody finds out that I have this here. Nobody will try to steal it, or the king and the common folk shouldn't find out about it. And even if he doesn't stockpile it and put it in his closet, he just keeps it and he buys materials for each job. He does one job, he finishes what he has, he goes and buys more. He does another job, he finishes, he goes and buys more. He says, could be that he when he wants to do the job, he won't find the materials he needs, and then he'll be stuck. Or maybe in the middle of the job, he realizes he needs more, and he doesn't have any more in this moment. So then he's also nervous about that. So therefore, comes out that he's never relaxed. Like imagine you sell in a store books, right? No, not books. Let's say merchandise. Yeah, you sell jewelry. So should I buy a lot of diamonds? Who says I'll sell all these diamonds? And I don't want to hold on to so many diamonds in my safe. Maybe somebody will try to break into my place. And if I'll tell myself, you know what, I won't buy in bulk, I won't buy a lot of diamonds, I'll buy a little bit and I'll sell it, and I'll buy a little bit more and I'll sell it. What happens to me if a customer comes and says, I need 10, I only have 5? Chaval, it's missing out on money. I could have made more money. And I could have, if I would have held on to more diamonds, I would have been able to make a better deal. So he always doesn't know what to do. Should I buy more? Should I buy less? Should I buy a little? Should I buy a lot? He's not sure. So that's the guy who doesn't have bitachon. But the guy who has bitachon, פותח באלוקים, ביטחונו חזק באלוקים שהטריף אותו כרצונו, ובעת שירצה במקום שירצה. But the one who has bitachon on Hashem, he doesn't have all these concerns. Why? He's absolutely confident that Hashem will provide for him however he wants to, whenever he wants to, wherever he wants to. And this person can avoid worrying of preparing reserves of money in advance, yet he feels secure in his future. Meaning, Hashem has unlimited ways to give you parnasah. So a person with bitachon says, listen, this guy came to me and he says he wants to sell me, he wants to buy for me 10 diamonds. And I only bought 5 at a time. So I only have 5. Oh, chaval, I missed out that extra money I would have made by selling him 10. No, he doesn't think like that. Why? Because he says, if Hashem, that money was meant for me, he'll give it to me a different way. On the next deal, I'll make it. There's another way Hashem could give me. Maybe somebody will give me a gift. At home, I'll walk home, somebody will give me a gift. You know? There's many ways Hashem can provide for us. It doesn't have to be only through the business, you know? Many other ways Hashem can give. For example, my friend, he moved to Israel. So he told me that in his parnasah, he wasn't making so much. Holidays were coming, and he needed money for Sukkot, for Shana, Yom Kippur, all that stuff. It was a difficult time. He prayed to Hashem, please Hashem, that my parnasah should work. I should be able to have enough for the holiday. And it didn't work. The parnasah didn't really. So then what happened? He's walking in the street one day, and he saw a relative of his. Hey, welcome back. A relative of his, he didn't see in a long time, and this relative didn't even come to his wedding. This relative saw him, he spoke to him, he says, I feel so bad I didn't come to your wedding. You know what? He said, stay here. He came back, he gave him an envelope. He says, this is my gift for you for your wedding. This money was exactly the amount of money he needed for the holidays. So you see, he could have said, if Hashem wanted to give me parnasah, I should have been through my business. No, Hashem doesn't have to only give you through the business. He can give you through a different way. Look how Hashem made him bump into his relative and he gave him money that he needed. So the same thing over here. The guy says, should I buy a lot of material? What if I get stuck with this material? Or should I buy a little bit of material? And then the guy's going to ask me for a bigger job. I don't have the material. What am I going to do? So a person has to realize, even if you don't have the material, or you don't have enough to make the deal. If you're supposed to make, Hashem will give you the next deal. If you're supposed to make, Hashem can give you, and not from your business whatsoever. It'll come from a different place whatsoever. He says, a person who has bitachon, he has to look at where? He has to look at the egg. Look at the egg of a chicken. What? That he provides for the chicken while it's inside the egg, or the child, the baby, while it's inside the mother's womb. There's no way, there's no opening over there. You can bring anything from outside. Hashem provides the bird in the sky and the fish in the water. I understand. How in the world does a bird in the sky get what he needs? He has to fly down, and he has to go to the earth, and he has to go find something. You know, it's so funny. If you ever look at a bird, what does a bird do? He's flying, he gets hungry. He goes around. You think the bird has a GPS? You think the bird has like some locator, some finder where the worms are? No, he hops around a little bit. He puts his head in the ground. He guesses. And what does he do? What does he do when he pulls out the dirt? He pulls out a worm. How? He just tries. He guesses. Hashem makes it. Hashem feeds him. Hashem makes it. He has to say to the Shmaya, and he just pulls out of the earth a worm. And then he goes to his family and he feeds his little chicks in their nest, and he gives them the worm. But how? It's not possible. That's how Hashem provides. Hashem provides for everybody. Can you imagine the small ant? The small ant, if the big lesson from the ant, right? The ant, I think, lives maybe 6 months. Not more than maybe almost a year, not even. And what? He stockpiles enough food for it to live 7 or 8 lifetimes. Meaning, for a couple of years, he stockpiles food, and he believes that he'll live longer than his own life. But Hashem provides for them food. They find food also. You would think they're such weak animals. What can they provide for themselves already? No, they also find parnasa. An ant can find food, but the lion sometimes goes a few days without finding any food. He goes starving. How? That's everything's in the hand of Hashem, right? Because it says, young lions may be wanting and hungry, but those who seek Hashem will not be missing anything good. And even in a famine, King Solomon says, Hashem will not bring hunger upon the soul of the righteous. Na ra'iti gam zakanti. Right? We says in Birkat Hamazon. Right? I was a youth and I was also old. Lo ra'iti, meaning my whole life. Lo ra'iti tzadik ne'ezav zar'om v'kesh lahem. I never saw a righteous man left alone and his children begging for bread. Hashem always provides. You ever saw a person who was a tzaddik and Hashem doesn't provide for him? Hashem always works it out. Why? Because that's how Hashem can give any way He wants. He can give to every person how He wants. We have to believe in it. The person that thinks, no, Rabbi, I have to know exactly my customer base, and I have to know my clientele, and I have to know what they like, and I have to know what's going to sell, what's hot, what's not. I have to know how much to buy. I have to know, I don't want to be stuck with extra stuff. I have to buy too much, not to buy too little. You have to do the analytics. You have to do the numbers. You have to see. You have to know the business. That's all part of Ishtadlut. You're right, but it's not the end of it all. That's not gonna. All this scheming is not what makes you the big bucks. The big bucks is with the bitachon first, and the Ishtadlut to back it up. Baruch Adonai Olam. Amen.